Tonight we're following musicians from the Rhondda Valley who really are the top brass. The Cory Band are celebrating a very special year. It's their 125th anniversary, which they marked with a concert here at the St David's Hall in Cardiff. Now, they're not only the oldest brass band in Wales, they're also one of the best in the world. They're currently European champions, and that's a pretty sought-after title in the world of brass. Now, if you think it's all marching bands and pa, then you'd be very wrong. There is a lot more to it than that. The band performs everything from Welsh classics to contemporary songs. Originally, the members were recruited from the miners in the South Wales valleys. Today, they include firemen and teachers, but it's still very much a family tradition. Matt's been looking back at their history and what took them to the top.
You can't beat a good brass band, whatever your taste in music, but this one's more than good. It's great. The Cory Band from the Rhondda have won all the biggest prizes, and now they want the world title under their belt. This is a big year for the band. It's their 125th anniversary. The oldest brass band in Wales and arguably the best, and they're already European champions. Now the Cory Band are planning to conquer all at the World Music Contest in Kerkrade, Holland. Brass bands were recreation for hard-working people at the heart of many mining communities. But before I joined them on their journey to Kerkrade, I met up with the band at their rehearsal space in a tiny room behind a post office in Tom Pentre to learn more about their amazing history.
1, 2, 3. Well, the Cory Band, its name derives from the famous Cory family that were coal mine owners, and they actually shipped coal all over the world as well. But just before we were called the Cory Band, in 1884 we were called the Ton Temperance Band, and it was when one of the Cory family, in fact it was Sir Clifford Cory, was opening a new library locally here. He invited the Ton Temperance Band to play at the opening, and he was so impressed with the band, he says, look, if there's anything I can do to help, I will. And the band said, well, if you could pay for a conductor, that would be really good. So we took the money as a form of sponsorship, and in return to that, in return for the money, we called ourselves the Cory Band. Yeah, that's it, good. So that's the transition into this andante is that the minim equals the crotchet. So we're going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Most villages that had a colliery had a band, and wherever there was a coal field, there was brass bands. So we're not just talking about Wales, we're talking about the Midlands, talking about Yorkshire, and in Lancashire, where there wasn't a tradition of coal mining, but there was woolen mills. It was the same sort of thing. If there was big industry, then the owners of the industry had a band. It was a bit of a competition amongst themselves, I suppose, in a way.
Within communities?
Yeah. If you go into a supermarket, the cross-section of people you'll find in a supermarket is more or less the cross-section of people that's in the band. In all bands, we've got firemen, we've got car salesmen, we've got bank managers, we've got factory foremen, forklift truck drivers. We've got some students from the Royal Welsh College in Cardiff. We've got quite a few music teachers, as you'd expect. So it's a real cross-section of the community.
I noticed a Harley Davidson outside as well.
That's Phil Harris.
You don't expect to see that around in the brass band.
No, he's a storeman. He works over near Swansea. He's one of the longest serving members of the band, actually, been in the band for 30 years.
Phil, What an entrance! We don't expect to see that outside of brass band rehearsals.
It beats banding, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, where do you keep your instrument?
Usually on the back, yeah.
Yeah.
Bring on the back.
Do you play the bass at all?
I'm glad I don't.
It's a good job you do. So what's band life like for you?
Well, it's part of my life, you know, with all the rehearsals and different things and the travelling. It's a big part of my life, you know. So.
Is it a family connection? Because there's lots of family history.
I have family, not in the Cory band at the moment, but my brother used to play in the band, and my brother-in-law used to play in the band, so
yeah.
It is a family connection, yes. I suppose at the moment they're all classed as family, you know, because we spend so much time together, so yeah, it's like a big family, you know.
1, 2, 1.
Meet John Trotman. His family has been associated with the Cory band for nearly 100 years. For me, John symbolises the spirit that has kept this band going for so long.
The Cory band has been my life, really, hasn't it? Since I can remember, well, I've been so young, you know, and I always wanted to go with a band when they were going away, anything like that, because where we used to live in Tintilla Road, we used to have railings around the front of the house, and I used to kick hell out of them railings, you know, because I couldn't go with my father.
To get out there, isn't it?
You couldn't go with my father, you know. So I mean, say, and that's back in the 30s, like, you know, and I was born in 1926, where that was about the 30s. I can remember them, like.
For 100 years of family
history with the Cory band.
history.
Yeah.
And you very kindly brought some pictures in as well. Talk us through, who's that little chap there?
Oh, that was me when I was 4 or 5 years old. With my father's podium. brought up an instrument, like, you know, it.
My God, yeah.
The first thing you could do was play instrument before you could eat, really. Because my grandfather always said that if you can walk, you can play an instrument. In the 60s, that was taken.
And point out who's here then.
That's my father, Tom Trotman. That's me. That's Aidan Trotman, or known as Di Trotman. Jeffrey Trotman. Now, I didn't mention that Jeff Trotman was killed in Tonopandi. He was a bus driver, and they think he must have had a heart attack, and he went straight in Woolworths in Pettigrew.
Oh, never.
And Steve, that's his father, Norman Trotman and Aaron Trotman.
What do you think it meant to your family then to be part of this heritage of the Cory band?
I mean to say, as somebody said once, that we are like a rock that. If you cut us open, you'll find Cory band runs through the middle. The only problem is there's nobody carry on the Trotman name from me once I finish with the band. Like, I'm privileged more or less to be librarian and trustee of the band. Like,
how proud are you of the Cory band?
Well, after I finished playing on Saturday night, the first item, tears, was unbelievable.
It's been part of your family for decades, isn't it? It's an amazing thing.
So proud of them, the way they play, like, you know. And I thought to myself then, you know, what I'd give to play, like, you know. But there you are.
In the last 10 years, we've won the Welsh Championships 7 times. We're the current European champions for the second year running. We've been ranked #1 for the last 3 years, and now we're going to this official World Championship competition where there's bands from New Zealand and all over Europe. And we're hoping in our 125th anniversary, we're bringing a book out at the end of the year. We're hoping that we can write in that book official world champions.
What are your chances of winning?
I think they're good because we're the highest ranked band in the competition.
You're going in there with good points.
We're going in there. We're going in there like the top seed in tennis, going to Wimbledon.
Right.
We are the fancy. We're the band that other bands are a bit frightened of. 1, 2, 3.
Now this is the point where I realised that there was a lot more to this brass band than I first anticipated. So being fond of a road trip, I pondered for at least half a second. I packed my suitcase and booked the ferry. So will the Cory band conquer the world? Stay on board.